We have many of you here who are not sure whether to join the so-called Linda Wananchi or to remain here and support the mainstream ODM.
Mombasa was supposed to be another ordinary ODM retreat, another political meeting, another routine gathering of party loyalists preparing for the future. But beneath the smiles, beneath the chants, beneath the carefully staged unity, something far more dangerous was unfolding quietly inside ODM, a silent struggle for the future of the movement itself. And then John Mbadi stood up to speak. The atmosphere changed immediately, not because he shouted, not because he attacked anyone openly, but because his words carried something much more powerful in politics. This party does not belong to one community. It does not belong to Siaya. It does not belong to a family. The words landed heavily inside the room. Supporters cheered loudly, but among senior ODM insiders, many instantly understood what Mbadi was truly doing. This was no ordinary speech. This was a political signal.
This party does not belong to one community, as my colleagues have said. This party, Raila, has been supported by people across the country. In fact, it is not even the 4 regions. Raila has been supported by Turkanas. Turkanas have been very much solid behind ODM. And so, my view is that we need to be clear. We need to be sure. How many soldiers are here?
For years, ODM has revolved around one towering political figure, Ruth Odinga, the symbol of resistance, the face of opposition politics, the center of gravity inside the movement. But in Mombasa, John Mbadi sounded different, not like a man merely defending ODM, but like a man quietly preparing the country for a future beyond Ruth Odinga's direct political dominance. And inside ODM, that controversy is deeply sensitive, because the post-Raila era is no longer theoretical. It has already begun. Every sentence Mbadi delivered sounded deliberate. Every pause carried weight, and every applause moment revealed one dangerous political reality. The audience was listening to him differently.
When someone takes a microphone and says that he is acting party leader, that is not a person who will come back to the mainstream party. You are pretending, you are lying to yourself. Let us see how we can help the mainstream ODM solidify across the country so that we go into next year when we are strong. How many secretary generals have announced that they have left the party and they have come back? A secretary general who has stood and said that he cannot work with the party leader should look for another secretary general. And then you sit here and pretend that we will bring those people, bringing them to where?
And then came the moment that no one in that room could ignore. The speech was already politically sharp, already raising questions, already shifting the mood inside ODM. But Mbadi was not done. He paused, not a normal pause, a calculated one, the kind of pause politicians use when they know the next sentence will not just be heard, but be remembered. The room became quieter. Even the applause stopped midway, and then he delivered it, not with anger, not with shouting, but with deliberate political precision. He referred indirectly to a sensitive issue inside ODM, one that has been spoken about in whispers, not microphones: the influence of family proximity in political decision making. And then came the line that detonated the room, that leadership inside the party cannot be determined simply because someone is a sister to the party leader and therefore assumes authority over others.
You know, we have a party where someone, because she is sister of a party leader, she thinks she can also order us around.
For a brief moment, there was silence. Not applause, not cheering, silence. The kind of silence that only appears when a political boundary has just been crossed in real time, because everyone in that room understood exactly what had been said, even if it was not named directly. The reference was widely interpreted as pointing towards Ruth Odinga, and suddenly the speech stopped being just political analysis. It became personal. Inside ODM, this is not a small matter, because the Odinga name is not just a family name. It is a political institution, a symbol, a legacy that has shaped opposition politics in Kenya for decades, and now it had been indirectly dragged into a an open political conversation on stage. The emotional weight of that moment hit the room differently. Some delegates leaned forward, others looked down. A few smiled nervously because they knew what had just happened. A line had been crossed that ODM leaders usually avoid at all costs: public confrontation of internal family-linked influence.
You cannot. We have supported this party. I know Baba has been a very solid leader. We must now manage the transition. Baba is no more. This is post-Raila era. We must be candid, we must be forthright, and we must chart our way forward. You cannot keep us back. Baba said this, Baba did not say this. Where is that Baba now to give us the evidence whether he said or he did not say?
And then there was something that many in the room noticed, but few dared to speak about openly: the absence, not loud, not dramatic, but deeply political. Oburu Odinga, a key figure expected to play a stabilizing role in ODM's internal transition discussions, was not visibly present in the most emotionally charged moments of the Mombasa gathering. And in politics, absence is never just absence, it is a statement, sometimes louder than speeches themselves. Because what made Oburu's absence more significant was not just that he was missing, but when he was missing, right at the center of the moment where ODM's internal tension was rising, right when John Mbadi's speech was reshaping political narratives inside the party, right when references to family influence, leadership structures and succession politics were being openly tested on stage, his silence became part of the story.
Baba did a lot for us, but we also fought for Baba. So if you are Baba's sister, please respect us. If it were not for us, Baba would not be the person he was by the time he was dying. You must know it is your brother who is the party leader. You must know Gladys Wanga is the chairman. You must remember Simba Arati is the deputy party leader. You must know Abdul Somad is the deputy party leader. Hii maneno ya kubembelezana
beyond the drama, beyond the speeches, beyond the internal tension in Mombasa, a far more dangerous question is now hanging over ODM. Not who spoke, not who reacted, but what ODM must actually become. For years, ODM was clear. It was the face of opposition politics. It was resistance. It was identity. It was emotional connection for millions of Kenyans who saw it as a voice against power. But now, that clarity is fading, because today, ODM is no longer speaking with one voice. It is speaking in layers, in strategies, in quiet calculations, and in political adjustments that many supporters do not fully understand. Some Kenyans still see ODM as oppositions, others see it as negotiation force, and others believe it is slowly transforming into something else entirely, a political structure trying to survive inside a changing power system. And that is why John Mbadi's speech mattered so much, because it did not just defend ODM, it exposed its confusion, its internal contradictions, its unresolved questions about identity.
Without this party, you are weakened. Let us remain the way we were. This party, if it is strong, many of you will come back to parliament. Many of you will win back their seats. With a weaker party, it is harder, it is more difficult.
What happened in Mombasa was not just a speech. It was a quiet political earthquake dressed as routine party business. Because beneath the applause, beneath the slogans, beneath the orange wave of ODM unity, something deeper was shifting. A movement was beginning to ask itself a question it has avoided for months. After Raila Odinga, what does ODM become? A party of resistance, or a structure trying to survive its own history? And John Mbadi's words did not give answers. They revealed the question, because in politics, the most dangerous moment is not when uncertainty appears. It is when it can no longer be ignored. And now, ODM stands in that silence, not the silence of peace, but the silence before a political future is decided. What are your views? Drop your comments. Samuel S. Olunani, LTV.